Lilith, you're a pain in my ass. Hello everyone, welcome to the next edition of Wrench Ride and Repeat here. And as per the channel's name, we got Lilith back up on the table. A couple shakedown rides, a couple charity rides we did, and had exhaust stud fall out. I fixed that. Had oil leak out of the pressure gauge. I fixed that. So come along with me, and we're going to drain the gas tank, get the seat off, and see why this thing's blowing smoke. And seems to be a leak up underneath somewhere. I gotta take a look at. So hang out and see what we do. So here we are, a day later. I was wrong on the first video. I spent some time tearing the rear cylinder apart, at least the rocker box, and because I thought that spark plug was, indication that that was the bad cylinder, and it wasn't. So after some more reviewing and some questioning and whatever, we found that I pulled the front exhaust off, and it was dry. So that only leaves one more culprit, and that's the front intake. So the front intake valve is leaking. In the picture here, you can see it pretty plainly. So we're going to have to tear this bike apart again and get that fixed. I already have the top rocker box torn off, the exhaust torn off. I took the carburetor and the intake off. And so stick around. We're going to tear this head off, and I'll show you what a real leaking valve seal looks like. So here we are. We're going to break this head free, and see what glorious sights we see. So to do this, you need a 12-point half-inch socket. And I'm going to do the two on this side. Now, these are torqued down pretty hard, so you really got to put some shoulder into them. But then once they break, they come right off. So not too bad. My back's already bad, so hey, what's a little bit more? I got the two on the other side. Oh, mercy. Okay, and then we'll get these two. All right, so like I said, they come right off once you get them going there. Okay, we got the two on that side all ready to come out. Finish the two on this side. So I wasn't going to bore you with all that, tearing apart wrenching. If you're going to get into this stuff and learn this stuff, then you'll learn how to take it apart, and it's easier to take apart than it is to put together. So we have this here now. I'm going to get my drift, and we're going to give this baby a little tap. Right? That's all it is. Now we can pull it straight off, straight up and straight off. And then we'll set it down here for a second. Oh my, oh my. That's not a good sign. Okay, let's see what this head looks like. Time for the great reveal. There's a ripped O-ring right there for the pushrod tube. Don't quite know how that happened. They're all brand new. Okay, let's flip this guy over. That guy's in there. Pull these head bolts, set them off to the side. I wasn't real pleased with the top of the look of that piston. So let's flip her over. All right, not too bad. You can see where the head gasket was sitting. And there is some char on a newly cleaned cylinder, but that intake valve is shiny, right? And it shouldn't be shiny like that. Let me get the valve compressor tool, and we'll tear it open. Okay, we're all set up in the vise here. Get the rag, right? I don't want to scar my heads or anything. We got the valve compression tool. It's just about centered on there, just about where I want it, so I can see what's going down through there. And I can put my hand under here and catch the keepers as we get down there. So let's see if we can get this compressed a little bit down to get the keepers off. Okay. A little further, maybe. There's one keeper. And you're gonna be good. You're gonna play nice. They're oily, so they tend to stick to where they should be. There's the other one, and it is looking pretty good shape, right? They're not scarred. There's your little oil passageway, your little keys. Okay, so we'll set those aside. We'll undo the clamp. And you can see the valve spring lifting. All right, now watch, because all this stuff likes to kind of fall apart all at once. So put your hand under there for the spring cap. Get our clamp all the way back. Get our clamp out of the way. And there you go. Spring slides off, inner spring slides off. And there we are. So we got our springs and our cap, at least our top cap. Bottom cap, it'll probably stay in there because, like I said, oil is, the stuff wants to stick with the oil and the films and stuff like that. So, okay, let's take it out of the vise and take a look. All right, there's our valve. And see, well, that's the top side. So we want to look at the bottom side. See how wet and shiny that is. Okay. Oh, shit. I almost dropped the camera. All right, so yeah, that valve is definitely crusty. So oil was leaking down past this seal. All right, and I don't see, we're going to have to get that off of there and take a look at it. I think it was maybe put on just a little bit too far, but it looks okay. And I don't know where that's leaking at, maybe down in. Hi, everyone. So it's been a couple days, and I got some stuff done here. I went ahead and changed the seal in the valve, and it was this front intake here that was leaking pretty bad. So I cleaned the valve up, cleaned the seat up a little bit, and we're going to put this head back on, button this bike up today, and hopefully that's the last time we'll have to have Lilith up on the table this year. Thanks for watching. Hang out, and we'll see you get this bike done. There's one thing I wanted to point out before we get started here. I usually use Cometic gaskets, all right? You can see they're multi-layered. It's riveted right there on both sides, and this was the used gasket. They're even more spread out than that before you compress them. So I wanted to, I didn't have a Cometic gasket, so I ran to Harley and just got a regular gasket and put it on here. So I'm going to set it on the head, or set it on the cylinder here, and it's really nice, right? Looks great. Then I got to thinking, there's supposed to be alignment O-rings on these dowels right here. And I had to look it up. So newer Harley gaskets don't have that spacer, right? So you don't need that ring. Just like the Cometic gasket, when you set it on there, see, it lines up, and there's no gap right there. So we'll put the new head gasket on. You don't want to forget that before you put the head on. And I don't believe there's an up or a down. All right, it just kind of fits on there where it fits on there. And see, there's no gap there either. So pay attention to that. If you put these on and you have a big gap there, sort of like where that ring is around it, then that's an older gasket, and you need an alignment, the O-rings that go in there. But modern Harley gaskets are made to fit, so we don't need that. Just something to pass along to you, pay attention to, because you get putting this head back on and you torque it all down and it's not right, you're going to be leaking. So I'm just going to let this video run while I do all this wrenching here. And so first we're going to put our head bolts in. Now before you put them in, it says to oil. I don't know if you can see that. We'll stick it right through there. Okay, so before you put these in, you're supposed to oil the threads and oil the deck around the bottom of the bolt. Then when you go to torque them, and the torque sequence can be a little tricky. You need to torque them in a sequence, and you need to do it multiple times. So you do it 7 to 14 foot-pounds, then you do 21 to 25 or something like that. And then once you torque them down, and you'll see this, you have to torque them to spec and then mark it with a pen and then turn it another, 90 degrees? Okay, yeah, turn it another 90 degrees, and that's your your head. And I'll show you that in the instructions in the book. So let's get these bolts oiled, and we'll get them in there and get them started. I'm just going to use a little 3-in-1. It doesn't have to be anything special. It's just to help you with that final torque sequence. So just a little bit here. I'm going to see through the bike again, huh? Just a little film, just a little. All right, so there's the short one. They go on the outside by the spark plug hole. Do this one. Just a little film. And my neighbor and cameraman Bob's coming over to help us today. And he should be over here any minute. So we do the 2 short ones, and then we're going to do the 2 long ones. These threads have been oiled from when I did the rebuild here over the winter. So they should be good to go. And what you don't want to do is put too much oil in there, and then they'll hydro lock on you. It won't get your right torque. And then you'll blow a head gasket, and you'll be right back doing this stuff again. So all the decks on all the bolts are done. Let me find a rag here. We got the head bolted down. It's a little tricky. Just follow that sequence in the manual. And if you can see right here, there's the mark, okay? And we had marked back in here, or over here somewhere. In the last turn, after your 13 or 14 foot-pounds, you turn that 1/4 turn to there, and that's proper set for all 4 heads, or all 4 bolts, and we went around in sequence. So the head's on. Now onto the rocker box. Hi, everyone. And hey, just a quick update. I got so involved with what I was doing last week and trying to get the black bike up to the garage and everything that I kind of threw Lilith, Lori's bike, back together and, you know, did a test start and all that stuff and never filmed a second of it. So let's go out and see if we can get this bike uncovered, and we'll start it up. Let it get up to temperature. I think it'll be fine, but let's just go check it out real quick. Okay, there she is. I think the key's still in, yep. Give her a little choke. There it is. Audio is probably a lot better on this than it was on that action camera. But yeah, she runs strong. No noises, no clanging, no scraping and banging, and no oil shooting out of all different kinds of places. I like that. That exhaust will like to blow the shoes right off your feet. gas. All right. Nice and hot. But yeah, there she is, Lilith, up and running. We got a ride possibly to Ligonier tomorrow. So that'll be a real shakedown. Okay, folks, that's going to do it for this video. Sorry I didn't get a whole lot of the assembly back together. I got the bullshitting with Bob, and we just slapped the thing together and started it up and got it outside here. So we're going to do a shakedown tomorrow. I appreciate you watching the video, and like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know what you think. Until next time, thanks for watching. This is Wrench Ride and Repeat.